Hello, everyone! In this video, we use a 2.1-inch knob screen to control a 7-inch ESP3 to S3 development board. First of all, this knob screen is an intelligent knob screen with ESP3 to S3 module as the core. This knob screen has a rotary encoder. This black round housing is connected to a rotary encoder inside. When we rotate, the rotary encoder will generate values. We use this value to control the brightness change of the knob screen itself. Then control this 7-inch screen through wireless connection. In order to show you more intuitive wireless communication control, we use the same UI interface for both devices. We transplanted the UI interface on the knob screen directly to this 7-inch screen. You can take a look. This knob screen is a circular screen with a resolution of 480x480. The 7-inch screen is a rectangular screen with a resolution of 480x800. We transplanted the round screen UI interface to this 7-inch screen. It is a square UI. This circular UI interface is an inscribed circle of this square UI. We now adjust this rotary encoder to control the brightness of these two boards. You can take a look. When we rotate the knob screen, the brightness values on these two development boards can be set to change at the same time. We use two values to show its brightness. You can gradually find that the brightness is getting weaker, because our camera has a certain ability to adapt to light. So the changes in light brightness you see in the video may not be particularly obvious. Let's quickly adjust it here. You can see that the brightness is now only around 10. It has obviously become darker. Of course, the screens of these two development boards are somewhat different. Its brightness response may be slightly different. In the video, we dim it little by little. You can see that when the current value is 0, both development boards are turned off. We opened it again. You can see that their brightness will become brighter little by little. This 7-inch screen has a touch function. We can change the value of this widget. Of course, we did not directly set it to change this value by touch. The value of this widget is always based on the value of the knob screen. Set it directly and change the value by touching it. We use wireless communication to communicate data between the two screens. Our wireless communication uses the ESP-NOW protocol. That is, an open-source communication protocol officially provided by ESP32. This communication protocol uses Wi-Fi for communication. We can see that there are 3 small controls on ROE. One is an arc. The other is a text box. Then there is a lab. All 3 small controls change in sync with the brightness value. The 2.1-inch knob screen in my hand is used as a master. Then this 7-inch screen works in slave mode. We use Arduino IDE for development. Then we used ESP30 to Arduino 3.03 version as the development kit for development. Next, I will briefly tell you how our project was carried out. This project can be said to consist of two main parts. One part is the UI interface. The entire UI interface is mainly based on the 2.1-inch UI interface. The 2.1-inch UI interface itself can use this UI to control the backlight brightness of the 2.1-inch screen. This UI interface consists of two parts. One part is about the rotary encoder part. You can see that our code introduces a control library for the rotary encoder. IS30 to Rotory encodr.h. This is a third-party rotary encoder control library we introduced. Then the following codes are some rotary encoder control libraries used by the rotary encoder. For example, it has a tube angle A and a tube angle B corresponding to GPIO 6 and 5. In addition, our rotary encoder also has a button. Here we have GPIO 0 pin. In addition, the step size of the rotary encoder can be set to 1. You can also change it to other values. Here is the declaration of a rotary encoder object. The data of the rotary encoder is included in a structure, including the current position of the rotary encoder. In addition, whether the button is pressed. Of course, we did not use the button function in this project. However, the button status is also communicated synchronously between the two development boards through the ESP32 protocol. The ESP-NOW protocol needs to introduce the ESP3 to NOW header file and the Wi-Fi header file. Also includes ESP_MAC, etc. We'll talk about how ESP-NOW is used later. Here are some functions related to ESP-NOW and rotary encoders. Because there are many, if you are interested, we can provide code for learning together. First, we'll initialize the rotary encoder. Then we initialize the screen of the entire development board, which is also the driver of the screen. Then it is an initialization of its UI interface. We used Easy Studio to design this interface. So there is a UI underscore in it. The next step is the initialization process of ESP-NOW. You can see that ESP-NOW uses STA mode Wi-Fi. You need to set the Wi-Fi channel. The Wi-Fi channels of the two development boards must be consistent for them to communicate. Then the whole process uses these functions to form a Wi-Fi communication with the SPNO protocol as a bridge. We use this UI interface to control the overall brightness change and generate these data for communication. Here are some functions about synchronizing our data and UI interface. Next, we will mainly talk about how to conduct wireless communication. In fact, RESP30 to Arduino SDK already has relevant information. We first selected the development kit for our development board. The development kit usually selected in the development board is ESP30 to Arduino version 3.03. Our specific module is the ESP3 to S3. After selecting this module, select File here. Then, in the example, You can find some relevant examples. We haven't started it correctly yet. Let's find a properly booted Arduino. There are 4 examples of ESP-NOW in the example for ESP3 to S3. Here we use the first and second. 1 is the master. One is in master mode. Master is our 2.1-inch screen. Then the slave mode is our 7-inch screen. Use master and slave modes to conduct a wireless communication of ESP-NOW. We can see in master mode. Using the master actually means broadcasting a piece of data or a string of data to the outside. These functions in the master mode are some of the functions we need. We can use this function directly to make some modifications. Now we can send our data. Of course, what is sent here is a simple hello world data. We may need to transform it into structured data. For example, we are now using a set of structured data transmissions. Here are some declarations about the initialization and necessary functions of the ESP-NOW broadcast protocol. Let's take a look at slave next. Slaves is the receiving end. The code on the receiving end is also in the relevant process we just showed. There are some differences between slaves and masters, but they must ensure that they work in the same channel to communicate. The master is mainly responsible for sending data. Slave is responsible for receiving data. On the receiving end, we also need to mark the data format as the same format. This is similar to the boundary code in our communications. We code in master. A decoding is performed in the slave. That is, if we use a structure or other data format. We need to use the same data format for sending and receiving to communicate correctly. Slaves is relatively simple. You only need to design programs for 2 different development boards through the 2 modes of master and slave. We can finally use the ESP-NOW protocol. Control to development boards. Now our 2.1-inch is the main one, that is, the sending end. Then the 7-inch one is a receiving end. Wireless control has now been perfectly achieved. Okay, this video ends here. Thank you for watching.